Well, 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 what can I say? We have the wonderful Miss Juliet Roberts in the studio with us. Well, thank you for that, my darling. Lovely to see you. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you, Mr. Thomas.
You don't sound sure.
Oh, what? That I'm well? Of course
Yeah.
I'm well. Yeah.
You don't sound sure.
I am sure. I am sure. I'm very, very sure. Thank you.
Well, tell me about what's been going on with you and your wonderful self, because we go back so far
that I can't remember.
That we can't remember. And we were just scrolling the tracks and thinking, well, all of this. And even I reminded her of some tracks that she'd forgotten that she'd sung.
Yes, yeah, that's so easy nowadays. I'm very, very fortunate. I've got a vast catalogue of different music that I've written or I've sung with people, and sometimes you just forget, especially as, you know, I've started a new project,
right?
Which I'm sure we'll talk about eventually, but the IRA project, and you kind of focus on what you're doing now, and you kind of put all the other stuff in a little box. And
well, yeah, and then, I think that's what it is, isn't it? You just keep creating, you never stop, and that's what builds the catalogue.
Yes, and
you know?
I'm working with some great people. You know, I'm working with Jeanette Mason, I'm talking to Angie Brown, the great Angie Brown. We're going to be doing a dance track together. IRA project is soul jazz, very similar to what I was doing when I was with Working Week.
Well, I mean, there's just so much to talk about with this lady. So, I mean, where did it begin for you with music?
Well, my father was a guitarist in a calypso band called the Nightingales. They came out of Grenada, Carriacou specifically, which is where I'm from. And they were constantly doing gigs every weekend, every couple of weekends. And we were fortunate that they rehearsed in the house. There was a room with all the equipment. So myself and my siblings, as soon as the band, you know, went home, we would be up playing, you know, we thought we'd be the new Jackson 5 or, you know, whatever, you know, the Roberts 4 or something, whatever.
So who were the Roberts 4?
Myself, Juliet, my sister Cynthia, my brother Charles, and my brother Oliver. Charles took up the drums. My sister was, I don't even know, but we just,
decided you were going to be stars.
We were going to be stars, and then one by one, they all found proper jobs and things.
And then you were left.
And I was left on my own. Playing trumpet and keyboards.
So you play all of those instruments?
Well, that's what I can do, but I choose not to do it in public because I'm not great at multitasking. I can play the trumpet and do that one skill at one time, and then I can play the piano, but I can't play the piano and sing at the same time. So I'm just not multitasked, you know, great enough to be like those multi-instrumentalists and singers. You know, I just can't do it on stage, so I stick to one. But obviously I use the instruments for creating,
So when did you start playing instruments?
Well, like I said, the instruments were in the house. So and my dad encouraged us to try different instruments. So whatever age.
And he played what? What was his instrument?
My dad was piano and guitar, primarily guitarist in the band. And we just tried everything. And, you know, singing stuck. So that was really, really cool. Yeah, for me, you know, my siblings all have what my parents or most parents will call proper jobs. So, you know, proper jobs.
There is that. There is that. Proper jobs.
Proper jobs with stability and.
Because I think that's always the thing, isn't it? Especially with our culture, they don't really encourage you to be creative.
Well, I think they like the idea. my parents were really cool. They liked the idea, and they could see that I wasn't necessarily going to be someone in an office permanently.
Yeah.
So they liked the idea that I was free-spirited, and they liked the determination and the passion I had for the arts. So as much as we say parents want you to have
A proper
traditional
job.
quote unquote proper jobs, they still really admired and supported me when I decided, you know what, this is what I really want to do. I was coming out of my teenage years, and I just asked them for a couple of years to find myself, and if I didn't find myself then I would get quote unquote a traditional proper job. But I was lucky. As soon as I said that, Funk Masters had the hit. I sang on was Funk Masters, It's Over. I went to the States, did some sessions there, and then decided, right, I can make a go of this.
How long did it take you to find yourself? Did they give you a time limit? Did it fall within the time limit?
I must have done a business plan, because I said to them, give me 2 years.
You see, now I have to stop her there. That's Juliet Roberts. She did a business plan when she was like 12. What?
And I had all these affirmations that I would write on all the walls in my bedroom. I'm going to be a singer. I'm going to do this. I'm going to show the world what I could do. I'm great. I'm smart. All these kind of things.
So then it kind of worked. You're a testament to writing down the affirmations, because people say write these affirmations down.
Yeah, but it's not just about writing. You've still got to put it into action.
You still have to do the work. You still have to do the work, and above all, have the ability. Because a lot of people think they can sing, but
Yeah, but it's like art. It's subjective. There are people that we would say, no. There are people that have something about them that can carry them, and
I love that positivity.
Well,
because I know I've heard some singers that call themselves singers that aren't really. No.
Well, like I said,
it's painful.
It's horses for courses, would I say? I just think
deal with the singers.
But you know what? Once you got a vibe and you create an environment or a space where people feel, you give them joy, and
that's
sometimes
the thing,
when you go to a concert, they may not necessarily sing the way that you may want, but they have a vibe, and it's about connecting with people, and that's what art is. And so sometimes, I'm always at concerts. I'm continuously looking and listening to different types of music. I went to see Kingfisher the other day, and that's predominantly like Irish guitar music, folky kind of stuff. And the chorus was unbelievable. That's not necessarily my type of singing, and it's not my genre, but I can
still appreciate it. But I think that's what it is. If something is good quality, regardless of the genre, you can appreciate it. You can enjoy it if you love music.
If you love music.
Because I do a section here called the Guilty Pleasure.
Right.
And we go back to the 70s pop music.
Hermits.
Yes, exactly. And if you appreciate music, you can appreciate any genre of good music.
Well, okay. Well, we will beg to differ, because there are certain things that you might put in your good box that other people will say sounds
terrible.
So everything's subjective, and just leave it like that.
We're going to have some Luther now, and back with Miss Roberts.
There you go.
Okay, Miss Juliet, we are back with you. So, when did we find ourselves? That's what we have to get back to. Put a date on it.
I can't, because...
I Can't Believe It's Over, the first single?
Can't believe it's...
Funk Masters?
No, I'd already been working, because I met... or did the Funk Masters after I'd been working with Bluebird Records. So with Bluebird Records, I'd already done The Bed's Too Big Without You.
Right, yes, because I did see that there were a few covers in there.
There was a few covers beforehand. It's been a long time. So I was still at school during the time with Bluebird. I was signed when I was at school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, excuse
Bluebird
me.
Records was opposite my school, Sarah Siddons, which unfortunately still doesn't exist anymore. But they were in Praed Street, from what I remember.
Right, that's Paddington.
That's right. That's
okay.
my ends. And so we did quite a few covers before I would say I found myself. Can't even think of what other songs I did.
You have to rack your brains.
I have to rack my brains and go back. But
you see, that's how much history there is here.
Yeah.
So much history. Yeah. Anyway, I have to shout, the Thomas family in South London, great to have you listening. As well as Andrea Jones and Zelma Jones over there in Barbados enjoying the interview. They said they love the sound of your voice.
Oh, thank you. I love the sound of being in Barbados right now.
Don't we all? Also, Roy Brown and Lyra Brown over there in Oshawa, Canada. And Chinya and Mark in Portugal. Chinya, you need to get some rest. She is in recovery, still running up and down. Yeah. Doesn't keep herself still. So, you know what? You need to get some rest. Enjoy the show, put your feet up, and just have a glass of something nice. Yes, I don't know about anywhere else, but the Luther documentary didn't have much time in the cinemas here. It's already on Sky Arts, so I'm sure you can catch it somewhere and stream it somewhere. I thought, on the whole, it was lovely. He had wonderful people around him, really supporting him and loving him, like David Bowie and Roberta Flack. But some of the others, not so sure.
I haven't seen it yet.
No, you need to see it. You need to. So back with this lovely Queen of Soul. Oh. Who were your inspirations musically, apart from your father and his steel band?
It's not a steel band. It was it was a calypso band.
A calypso band.
But they did play steel pan as well. So, So thing. I would firstly say, obviously, the influences of my parents. My dad listened to Wes Montgomery. He loved Nat King Cole. He loved Ella. He loved, I would say, Gladys. He also liked what's her name, Marcia Griffiths. And
one of the I3s.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was, our house was, we were lucky, music. Very full of very music. Eclectic.
I understand perfectly.
Jim Reeves, I mean, typical 60s household. You listen to everything.
Well, we always laugh about that because the Jim Reeves thing, I can remember our parents playing it, of course.
Yeah, on a Sunday.
And your friends would be calling up and down, and you're feeling shame now because you got Jim Reeves in the background.
Yeah, but, you know, I don't know. There's something synonymous with folk music and country music in the Caribbean, still on a Sunday. Still on a Sunday, you can, I know, especially when I'm home in Carriacou, you know, you'll get those kind of folk songs. And
absolutely.
And I just think because they tell a story, we kind of gravitate towards a nice story.
Well, I think we appreciate it now more that we're older.
Talk for yourself. I've always appreciated
this woman has always been different.
I'm not different. I just think, you know, you're as old as the man you're feeling. So, you know, or however old you are, you know, age is nothing but a number.
Well, so they keep saying, but you know, my knees are saying something different to me now. It's like, they're not saying it's just a number. They're saying, you are 39, you need to slow down.
Oh, is that what it's saying?
Just go with it, okay? Just go with it, 39, right. Okay.
All right, then.
Now, after the break, I will be gracing you with quite a few of Miss Roberts' tracks from the beginning. But I remember we go back to singers. Remember singers?
Singers. There were quite a few incarnation of singers.
Yeah, but singers was the one.
Is
there was
that the
voices.
One? Is singers the one that was Covent Garden?
At one stage,
one
but it was at the
stage.
Old Cockney. It was at.
Oh my gosh! Yes,
It
yes.
was at Hanover Grand.
Hanover, yeah. Was singers down by Maddox Street? There was one down Maddox Street somewhere. I can't.
I think that was Voices.
Is that Voices?
But I can just remember
Oh, you
that
can
was
embarrass me.
my what should we say, my initiation into the BV world and the vocalist
Right,
world.
yeah.
So as you were saying earlier, there were lots of singers coming up, and you're going, okay, I'd left my earplugs somewhere. Okay, and then Juliet Roberts comes up with Bev Skeets, with Mary Pierce, with Gina Foster, and I just went, okay, it was worth me coming out my house.
You're talking about some significantly fabulous girls, some
Exactly.
fabulous women.
Well, my standard is only that high.
Oh, well,
I'm
there
sorry,
you go,
but
thank
you know.
Can I just ask you, was I wearing that dirty old trench coat that I used to, for about 5 years, I used to go out with this Colombo looking, I had this idea of looking like Colombo wore this trench coat, this old man's coat, and then I would,
to be honest
decided
with you,
I wasn't going to look like a
superstar.
I decided I was going to look like Columbo and just look a bit dishevelled, and then let everybody judge me by my voice. And I did that for about 5 years. And when I look back on pictures, oh God!
I can actually say, I didn't want to mention the coat.
Oh God!
I didn't want to mention it.
Yeah,
but it was there.
Yeah,
it was there, and it's only those that got to know you that was just a front that you were putting on, because when you were leaving, you were getting into a 2-seater sports car that you had to dislocate your hips to get into. I can remember it well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Those were the days. But you know, it's really great to have that foundation.
Absolutely.
Because all the singers, even when we were working with Loose Ends, Hayward, Princess, we were all in each other's houses. Princess as in Say I'm Your Number One.
That's
that
right.
kind of thing. We just kind of held on to each other. We were so close. That was such a great community in time.
You going to sing it for us?
Nah, not this one. I'll sing something else. Well, yeah, you can sing now.
Yeah, you can.
Really?
Of course.
I don't want to.
Now, here we go. You know I always have a little treat for you. Here it is. I like putting them on the spot when it comes to this, because I know I only invite the very best. Here she goes, live and direct.
What am I supposed to do? Oh, sing along.
Yeah.
I can't even hear it.
Oh, God. Do you want me to sing for you?
Yes, sing.
You don't
sing.
want to hear me sing.
I can't hear it. Oh, okay. Let's wait till we get to the chorus. What? The words. He's giving me the words.
Like everybody else. Bad girls.
Bad girls. I'm talking about the sad girls. Yeah. Bad girls. Talking about sad girls. Yeah. I'm glad I haven't sung this song for years. Toot toot.
That's the one.
Beep beep.
You don't want to hear me saying bad girls,
no,
do you?
you don't. No. Well,
so what made you cover this, my love?
do you know what? I love Donna Summer, and one of my favourite movies, was Thank God It's Friday. And
my God, you too,
I
you too,
love it.
you too.
And you've got the Commodores, you've got so many artists were on that, and the whole idea of on a Friday night, the whole idea of a Friday night, and Donna just wants to get her track played, and right at the end where you've got all these artists that come and go, and the dramas that's going on between the girlfriends and the shoes and just the whole vibe of raving.
Last Dance.
The Last Dance.
That's it.
That to me says you want to party
But I
for
mean,
the
what
weekend.
a crystal clear voice Donna Summer had. I think an underrated vocalist, to be fair.
Well, I don't know. I rated her, and in my world, everything goes. I just thought she. That time just epitomised what I wanted to do.
And what we were actually doing.
What we were doing. But I just thought, to know all those artists, to have a community. And really, I was part of a community, The British soul scene were doing wonderful things in America. And we were on the top of our game, talking about Lee from Imagination. We were all so in each other's pockets, kind of, we'd go out.
But as you say, making the community, you went out together, you were
total
even booked
contrast.
on jobs together.
We all did
there
gigs
was that camaraderie.
together. And that's it. And I love that. And that's what that film, Thank God It's Friday,
epitomised for you.
That was it. And so I didn't want to do Last Dance. I just think no one else can cover that song, but I felt I could do a good job of Bad Girls. And at the time, I wasn't married, I wasn't a mom, so I could be a bad girl. So you wanted to be a bad girl? I wanted to be a bad girl.
In your Columbo coat.
In my coat, I ditched the coat by then.
Here is I Want You.
Oh.
So as this is one of her favourite songs, she announced it in the beginning. Here we go. Uh-huh.
I can't remember the words. Can express, no, I want you. Oh, yeah. You know I do feel it. I miss you. Oh, yeah. I need you. I want you. Oh, please don't make me beg. Yeah.
Well, there we are. I just had to take off my headphones and lower the volume.
Oh, what you
because the power, let me tell you, the power. Juliet Roberts in the house. That's why she's here.
Oh, thank you. Please.
Oh, yes. This was definitely killer track for my aerobics class.
Oh.
I used to be flying over that step. And they were going, but we can't keep up with that. Once this came on. Big shout to the lovely, lovely Cara Redmond. Princess Cara, great to have you listening. She loves you. She loves Donna Summer. Wonderful Barbara Jones, great to have you with us. Kenton Kerr, a very special individual. But I think it's all about the mix as well, isn't it? The mix makes all the difference.
Yeah. And I've been very lucky to work with some great mixologists. And that's not
producers.
Producers. And
yeah, mixologists as in mixing music.
Mixing music.
Not cocktails.
Yeah, there you go. Really, really lucky.
Yeah. Well.
This.
See, I know the tracks to choose.
Well, this is from a really great album.
It's a really great album.
Natural thing. Yeah.
Bringing back such amazing memories as well for me of that era, those 90s times.
Yeah, it was cool. It was good fun.
She's so reserved, isn't she? And held back.
Yes,
it was cool. It was wonderful. Come on.
Cool.
Caught in the middle of love.
Oh, you're singing? No, I'm not singing this one. Can I just tell you, the Billy Porter covered this a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
He's here right now in a show in town.
Really?
I think it's at the Roundhouse.
Oh,
Billy
I didn't
Porter,
know.
yeah.
No, all right.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
So, tell us a little bit about your current project.
Yes, the IRA project.
IRA project, that's
Yeah,
right.
Well, it's myself and pianist Jeanette Mason.
Right.
We've known each other for probably about 15 years, working on and off. We had a project together doing Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan,
Right.
where we would kind of come together at the Hideaway. That
Yeah,
used
the
to be
good
in,
old days of the
good old
Hideaway.
days, the Hideaway in Streatham, and I think she was artist in residence. Well, I know she was artist in residence there,
Right.
And we got together through that project and decided let's do some original material.
Okay, so this is all original.
All original material.
Right.
I think out of 20 songs, we've got one cover.
And I guess that's the thing for a musician, because you're always writing, you're always creating, and you
Yeah.
want as much as you love the classics, and you know your audience love the classics.
Yes.
They kind of want to hear the classics, and you have to gently break your new stuff in.
Well, yeah, but that's why you create different projects. You
Yeah,
know, the
yeah,
dance
yeah.
stuff. Like I said, the dance stuff. I'm still working with people who are in that arena.
Right.
I've just done a remix of "Caught in the Middle" with DJ Marina from Birmingham.
Okay.
And so she's done a tribal version on that, and we've started.
See, all about the mix, the different
It's all
mixes.
about
Yeah,
the different
yeah.
mixes
And
and
which
stuff.
mix you prefer?
And well, the original, if you're doing gigs, retro gigs, they want to hear the original, but a lot of the younger kids, they want to hear a new mix, a new vibe, and stuff. So I've got things going on with them.
Right.
And the IRA project is people that have come with me from, like I said, the working week days.
Working week,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Chinya Jibina said, the one that I said was not well and needs to take rest.
Yes.
I'm going to read it to you.
Ah.
Oh, wow, Barrie. She was the soundtrack to my university days. Working Week was
Yes.
always playing
That's
in our
right.
university house. I introduced many people to her. Great, great voice. There you go.
Make sure she's resting.
Now, this is a wonderful time, because this is with LA Mix.
That's right, Les and Emma.
Les and
Yeah,
Emma,
yeah.
and I think we all had a part in doing
Yeah,
something with them.
They were
because
fabulous.
Delroy did.
Did he
Yeah.
do drums or something?
Yeah, he was a drummer, and he did Holding Back for More, Coming
He
Back
did
for More.
Come Back for More. Yeah, yeah.
And I did Mysteries of Love.
Oh,
which was
there you
the
go.
duet with Beverly Brown.
Right, there
Right.
you
So
go.
this is a very special time. LA Mix for
Yeah.
me. Here we go. Hold hands in the dark. But you know what?
This is 80s, isn't it?
It has stood the test of time. It still sounds good. It doesn't sound dated. Look, you're feeling it now, you know?
No, I just didn't remember it. Yeah.
Look, you're feeling it all over again.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to look for it.
So you wrote this?
Yeah, I wrote the songs that I sang on the LA Mix project. I co-wrote with them. Yeah. There are very few things that I sing that I don't write.
Apart from Bad Girls.
Yeah, very few. And again, but most songs that I sing, I write. All my hits, all the dance stuff, I co-wrote them.
Now, I was going to ask her to sing, but you know what? She has not listened to this in probably 20-something years.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's literally sitting in front of me in the studio feeling it like back in the day. I can see it all over her face.
Well, it's a great track, and I just completely forgot about
How
it.
can you forget that you wrote and sang this track on the album?
Because you move on.
Yeah, you move on, but
move
you
on.
don't forget some of your greatest work, and that is amongst them.
Well, thank you very much, but this is probably nearly 40 years old.
No, it's
and-
not so old.
Oh, it's
It's
a long
90s.
time. Oh, is
It's
it?
90s.
It feels like
For
a
goodness sake,
lifetime away.
I'm 39, so how could I have even had something 40 years ago?
because it was re-released, obviously.
Thank
but
you.
You know, what happens is, because I'm fortunate that I'm in demand, working with different people, different genres, different vibes. Because
Yes,
of
you
that, I literally, as I just said to you, I know that I wrote 3 songs on the LA Mix project, but I can't tell you, besides you playing that one, I can't tell you what they were or what they sounded like or anything. I've forgotten that track. I haven't sung it for years.
I could see, because your eyes were like a rabbit in the headlights.
I know.
Literally
I was
like, oh my God.
this. Yeah, but it's great. And myself and Leslie George, when we actually recorded that song, we didn't know each other. We did not know each other. I think he popped in for something. I mean,
But it was perfect.
it was perfect timing. You had to be there, and we just went with the flow, and it ended up being absolutely amazing. But I think, in all honesty, we probably only sang it together once, no more than twice.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I can remember going on the road with LA Mix.
Yeah.
With the single that I had.
Yeah.
With Beverly Brown.
But I didn't go on that tour.
Didn't you do that tour?
No, I didn't do any tour with them, because by that time I'd already moved on and was doing my own stuff.
Because I know your single was first. Shouldn't Hold Hands in the Dark.
That was
before Coming Back for More.
That's right.
And before, because mine was the last single, the third one.
Right.
With Beverly Brown.
No, I didn't. By then, I'd already started doing hits, and I'd switched from the dance back to jazz.
Right.
So I was on tour with Courtney Pine.
Courtney, that's right. That's what I remember.
And that's right. So I didn't do LA Mix at all anymore. I'd kind of.
But it was a great period and great production.
Great production. He was fantastic. And him and Emma were
they
just
really knew their music for sure.
And we had fun. Mike Stevens, they introduced me to Mike Stevens, who is a pianist, and then Mike Stevens went on tour with Take That. And when Lulu had a rest period, I filled in for Lulu on Relight My Fire on tour with Take That.
I vaguely remember that as well.
I did, that's it. So all those connections, because Mike lived up the road from Les and Emma.
Yeah.
That was my introduction to him, and then he took me on the road with Take That.
Nothing before its time, and everything happens as it's supposed to in actual fact.
That's right.
It might not be the way we would like it, but it happens as it's supposed to.
So I didn't have any of those great moments with you on tour.
Well, some of them were great, some of them were...
I know you'd have gotten me into trouble, so I'm really fortunate.
You know, if we were on tour together, that would have been a hot mess.
That would have been.
No, but we would have got on stage on time. But it's what happens between performances. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Might have been another P Diddy moment, but let's not go down that road.
I'm moving right along. So big shout to Raymond Blair, present and correct. Great to have you listening, and of course, ballerina extraordinaire Carol Straker. Yes. She does enjoy her Sundays with us here at The Beat. So tell me, back to the project.
Yes.
Let's hear about it.
Well, it's just myself and Jeanette being very comfortable with each other, being very comfortable with sharing at least 60, 80 years worth of professionalism. And
no egos involved, really just coming together to
for
make
the music.
The project.
The project is all about the music.
If only we could get more of that.
Well,
we need more of that.
We need more of that.
The egos aside, and it being about the project.
We never had egos. I don't know what incarnation of Juliet Roberts you may have known, but
what did you tell me the other day? We were at a party and she said, "Do you think you're important to me?" I just looked in her face and thought...
Did I say that? Was that Carol and Janet?
Correct. Do you think you're important to me? I just looked in her face and thought, you know what? I'm not even going to make a scene here at this birthday party.
But it was a fun birthday party. It was a really
It was lovely.
But yes, the project's all about us as women, mature women, going through our experiences, whether it be through the pandemic and the trials of people, losing people, just life.
3 years of our lives stolen with no explanation.
Well, let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
But, certainly it's a period where you can question it, you can write about it, and you can grieve about those 3 years stolen, because people were traumatized and still still the consequences of those years.
Farther reaching.
There you go.
You've still got people walking around with masks on. Anyway,
Yes.
we won't go down that rabbit hole. Back to the project, because
But
it's on a significant International Women's Day or something.
International Women's Day.
Right.
We're going to be at the Exchange in Twickenham.
Right.
A phenomenal band. We've got Yolanda Charles on bass.
Ooh.
I know she's gorgeous and sexy and beautiful and phenomenal player. She's from, she's just been around for millions of years, but her pedigree is just everything and anyone who's significant in the,
she has been playing
the international
on
pop scene.
Yeah.
And you've got Shanti Jai Singer, who plays cello, trumpet, and shakers. We've got Nicholas Pye, who is a phenomenal drummer from France, and we're introducing a new singer called Bex Gold, and she does a mean version of Got to Be Real, the Cheryl Lynn adaptation, but she does it in a phenomenal jazz style, which is arranged by Jeanette Mason. So it's a place where we can come to talk together and write about songs about relationships, not about just I love you, I love you, I love you, but it's the part of the relationship where you're kind of quite contemptuous and resentful and you're stuck. And, people get into relationships where they're stuck. Do they leave? Do they go? Do they wait for the children to leave? And all these
we are going to
longings and
continue
things
this after the break. A therapy session.
I know.
The wonderful, the late, great Gwen Guthrie there with Save Your Love for Me. We'll have a little bit more from Gwen after we finish with Queen Juliet.
Oh.
Big shout to Sherry Class, who says, wonderful to hear Juliet. Of course it is. That's why I'm proud.
And Sherry's so lovely.
She
beautiful.
is. She really
We met each
is.
other, what was it? After, I think, 30 years, at the fabulous party a couple of weeks ago.
Well, you've not seen her for 30 years.
We actually said it must have been about 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I did a gig with Greg Edwards, and that's the last time she remembers seeing me.
Indeed.
Oh, my gosh. You're pulling me down many rabbit holes here
Now,
today.
here is the one of the tracks from Miss Juliet Roberts when she was with the Funk Masters. It's over. Not just yet, anyway.
I sound like a baby. I sound like a baby.
You were a baby.
I feel as if I was a baby. Listen to my voice. Sounds so... I can't believe it's so...
Yeah, I know. Yes, well, that is the wonderful Juliet Roberts in her early days.
In my early days, sounding like a baby.
Sounding like a baby. She's going, oh my God, I sound so twee.
I sound so cute.
Twee and...
never been kissed.
With the Funk Masters, it's over.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's hear the date of the new gig.
Project. The new gig is on Saturday the 8th of March. It's at the Exchange in Twickenham. It's not about doom and gloom. It's a grown-up project. It's phenomenal musicianship. We have fun. It's working week crossed with a bit of Earth, Wind and Fire, crossed with a bit of Hubert Laws, maybe Bobby Humphries.
Oh, stop it now.
In a perfect world, that's what we...
That's what you're aiming for.
That's what we're aiming for.
That's what you're aiming
with
for.
With some really cool lyrics and
because every time you mention the name there, I just got a new set of goosebumps. So it was
there
like,
you go.
yeah,
it's soul music
Earth,
with jazz
and Bobby Humphries.
And it's cool, and we all just have fun,
which is what it should be.
Which is what there's no stresses.
So say it again. It is the 8th of
March at the Exchange in Twickenham. It's literally opposite the station, Twickenham Station. So
and it's on International Women's Day.
And International Women's Day.
How significant. So you got that, guys. Of course, I will be talking about it before the date itself.
Yeah.
So we will have more about Juliet and her wonderful project.
Yeah.
That will be on the 8th of March in Twickenham, opposite the station on International Women's Day.
That's
Lots
cool.
of markers for your diary.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to let this wonderful lady go and enjoy her Sunday afternoon
Yeah.
with her family and friends, because she's come quite a distance. And as she came in the studio, it was like she knew the CEO, she knew this one, the other one. They go back, and I'm saying, well, should I leave or do
Should
you
I
all
stay
want...
or should I go?
Exactly. Should I stay or should I go? Do you all want me to stay? Do you want to carry on the show on your own?
No, it's great. It's great to be here. I haven't been up this side for ages, and all I'm looking at is the patty shop across the road. So that's exactly where I'm going before I go home. Yes,
Stop
I
it
am.
right now about
Nice
patty shop
lamb
across
patty.
the road. I'm trying to make them think I've got a New York skyline behind me,
is
not a
that-
patty shop.
Oh, look. Okay, sorry about that, but that's where I'm going.
Useless.
No, yeah.
Useless.
There you go.
My dear, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, more
It's
than
been a
welcome.
pleasure.
More than welcome.
And,
Thank you for asking me. It's been a long time.
It has been a very long time. But now that I know where to find you, you will be coming in again very soon.
Oh, God. Help me. Lord, help me.
We'll make this a regular.
Oh, gosh.
Happy Sunday, darling.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Take care. God bless.